first of all. Just to go over just a couple announcements. The summits this week, which we're all super excited about. I can't wait to see so many of you there. And in addition to that, we have some awesome things going on. First of all, if you're not coming to Summit this year, they do live streaming of the Summit events. I think it's mostly like the big stuff at the football stadium where they make huge announcements and recognition, all of that. So Paige will probably be posting the link for when to listen and how to log into that so you guys can still be a part of it. And I think the rooftop training with Team Courage is actually going to be recorded, so I imagine you guys will have access to that afterwards as well. And know that the very last day of Summit, it should be Saturday night is usually when it starts. Saturday tickets will go on sale for next year's Summit. So get a ticket like right away, you guys, because you will be put on the wait list. They sell out really quickly. So you want to go ahead and get your ticket set up for next year. Just plan to be there, you guys. Like, you just have to make that decision. Like, I'm going to find a way to get there. I know people are going through moves right now, have little babies. And they're finding a way to get to Summit. I've been there. I'm having to find childcare and type up schedules for my kids and cook food ahead of time for the kids. So, it can be difficult, but it is so worth it, you guys, to get to Summit and to surround yourself with the energy from the team. And Aaron has been hearing a rumor. I don't know of the rumor yet, but it might be somewhere else next year. We don't even know yet. They'll announce that at Summit, and they'll announce the dates for next year's Summit at Summit too. Where is the chat box? Here it is. Yeah, I don't know. We will find out within the next few days. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. Super exciting. Also, the cup, Team Cup. What is that? If you're a new coach, you're like, what the heck is a cup challenge? Should I do it? Who's for? It is for anybody, you guys. And so the cup challenge, I highly advise everybody to sign up. It's fun. It's working towards Success Club, which should be a priority in your no matter what goal every month anyway. And then as a team, all your points combined, you earn cool prizes. I know there's like a skateboard for one of the prizes. There's, not that I know how to skateboard, but my kids would certainly love it. There's some cool shirts, country heat shirts that you can win, all kinds of neat stuff. I've gotten some pretty awesome prizes from doing the cup challenges, and they're quarterly, and so you get in groups of 5. If you don't have a cup team yet, reach out to your upline diamond and they'll help find you a place, or comment. I put a post up today in Dream Big with like perks of doing cup challenge and the statistics that go along with that, with coach earnings and building teams. Go ahead and comment in there that, hey, I need a cup team, and we can try to get you plugged in somewhere. All right. And Dream Big, many of you are already in there, and that group is blowing up. Like, I stayed up late last night reading a lot of your visions in there, and reasons why you would be extremely upset if Beachbody was to all of a sudden disappear. I loved reading your comments. And so this is a Dream Big, No Excuses group. We are really just focusing on the vital behaviors. We're going to be reading through the book, No Excuses by Brian Tracy. So make sure you've already ordered that, or on your Kindle or audio, however you like to get in your personal development. We're going to be focusing on that together. It's just 21 days, you guys. But they say it takes 21 days to form a habit, right? So if you feel like you've just gotten out of that routine of being very consistent and following the recipe, plug into this group, because that's what we're focusing on in there. Okay, and we're going to encourage each other each day and talk about the personal development that we're reading. That's pretty much it for me. Stephanie is going to talk to you guys tonight because, I know, like, right now I've been hearing it from many coaches. I'm feeling it. Like, people are like, oh, I'm struggling right now. Like, nobody wants to do this. Nobody's committed. It's the time of year, and Stephanie's going to kind of walk you through why that is tonight. But you guys, like, in the end, you just have to remain very, very consistent. I don't want to take all of Stephanie's so I'll just shut up and let her take over, and I'll add in later. Go for it.
Okay, well, before we start, first of all, thank you guys for being on. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for switching to Monday. Like Kristen said, so many of us are getting ready to go to Summit. I'm one of those people, and I am like finding childcare and like writing notes to this babysitter and that babysitter and figure out meal plans and all that stuff. So to do a team called Tuesday night would have been crazy. So I super appreciate you guys being flexible. And just that you've taken the time. This is to show up here, you guys. When I was a new coach, I showed up every single week. It was non-negotiable. I wanted to hear what Kristen had to say. I wanted to hear what other leaders on our team had to say. We talk about personal development. It is one of our vital behaviors. This is your personal development. It's something that we need to dig into every day. And there's no better way to get your personal development really than from your team, because as leaders on this team, when we're trying to figure out what to talk about, we figure that out by knowing the needs of our team and then responding to that. So, this topic is near and dear to my heart because I feel this from my team. I feel this from myself right now. And so, we're going to talk about tonight just really pushing through a rut. We're going to talk about 3 non-negotiable things, 3 things to do no matter what, that's going to really push your business forward, even in possibly a dry season. But before we talk about that, I wanted to tell you just a little bit about me and my story and why this is personal to me today. But I started last March, and I am one of Kristen's personally sponsored coaches, and I have a different story probably than others. Kristen and I did not know each other before. One of my friends was in a challenge group of hers, and she had posted something like, oh, I'm doing the 21-day fix and I've lost this much weight. And she had tagged Kristen in the post, and I had responded and just said, good job. I think it was like as simple as it was. And Kristen friended me and messaged me that day. And like you do most of the time when people friend you, I checked her out and I saw that she was a mom, that she was a military wife. She had these 3 cute girls, and that she was this thing called a Beachbody coach, and I had no idea what that was. But I believe that the Lord puts people in your life for a reason, and I needed Kristen. In that moment, I needed this opportunity, I needed a challenge group, and I needed to be a coach. And I didn't know it, but that's really where Kristen found me. So I signed up to be a coach before I'd ever been a challenger. My husband is a surgical resident. He works about 80 to 100 hours a week. I was homeschooling at the time. I had a baby about 9 months before. So I have 3 kids. We're at home all the time. My husband's gone, and we needed extra income. And so I decided, great, I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I'm going to lose this baby weight that I've been wanting to lose, and I'm going to be this thing called a coach. And I, from the very beginning, was just, I wanted to do this, so I jumped in with both feet, and I just did whatever Kristen told me. If she told me that I should hit Success Club, I hit Success Club. And then when she told me that, okay, well, if you hit Success Club 10, then Beachbody is going to give you leads. And I thought, well, okay, I'm doing this for income, so I'm going to hit Success Club 10. And I have hit Success Club 10 from there on out. In fact, I remember being in a training group with Kristen, and she put, and this is just my personality, if you've done your GYMS test, I'm half sapphire and I'm half ruby. So I'm a lot of fun, but I'm also going to beat you if there's a competition. So Kristen put like her goals. I remember she's like, well, I hit Success Club 10 and I add this many coaches. And I was like, okay, like, let's do that. Like Kristen can do it. I can do it too. And so I just went for it. Kristen told me you should start inviting to your team. And I felt totally inadequate to do that and felt like who would want to be on this team, but I did it anyways. And I invited and I started a team. I started at the very beginning of March as a coach. Kristen told me I could hit diamond by May 20th. And I thought it was crazy, but I was just a good listener. So I did it. And by May 20th, I was diamond. And I've been diamond ever since and star diamonds now. But along the way, the team that I started with is not the team that I have now. The team that I became diamond with, I have a totally different team. And around this time last year, probably September, October, November, girls that I had on my team that were like hitting Success Club 10 and beyond. You know, they had hit it so much that they got their free ticket to Summit, and they're adding teams. I had a girl one coach away from Diamond, and slowly but surely they just all fell off. They just all quit. It wasn't their thing. They didn't have something we're going to talk about later, which is stick with itness. They just didn't want to stick with it. They didn't want to see it through. And so I, about this time last year and then going into the fall, had to rebuild my team. And that is not fun, not a fun feeling. But I believed in my why so much, and I believe in this team so much that it was never a question for me of if I was going to do it. I was always going to do it. But I've had to put some of these principles in place, and I have to put them in place now because the team that I have now is not the team that I had then. And so having to kind of relearn, honestly, this business in a lot of ways, and how to be a leader, which sometimes leadership, like we say, leadership can just stink sometimes. But okay, I'm going to screen share. Hopefully it's going to work. Okay. Can y'all see that? Okay, perfect. Okay, so the thing that I want to talk to you guys tonight, really, like I said, I'm going to give you 3 kind of non-negotiables, 3 things that if you're in a rut, these are the 3 things that we really need to focus on and do in order to push past that, kind of get you out of this dry season. So much of what we do in this business is not gonna affect you today. Like what I did today in my business is not necessarily gonna affect me today, but it's gonna affect me next week, and it's gonna affect me next month, and it's gonna affect me 3 months from now. So if I stop doing some of these things now, I might not feel the effects of it now, but I will definitely feel the effects of it next week, next month, 3 months from now, okay? So first thing to know is that our business has seasons. I'm going into my second year. So I started March 2015. So I'm in my second year. So I'm kind of just getting to the point where I'm recognizing some seasons in our business. July, not a booming season. If you are feeling like, oh my gosh, this month has been hard, you are not alone in that. Okay. That is across the board. That you see that now, we'll see that sometimes like October, November, before things really start to pick up in like late December, January, February. That's like a great season. But the way that it becomes a great season is that you put in the work now. Okay. The way that you're going to save yourself in October and November when it is a low season is that you put in the work now. Okay. So we can't stop doing some of these things. Also, it's not an excuse. Okay, so in love, I just want to tell you that when things are hard, we don't want to say, oh, well, just nobody wants to do this. So it's just a bad season, it's just a down season. And so I'm just going to let it be that. And I'm going to just wait until it picks back up. Like I said, I've never missed Success Club 10 or above, like the whole time I've been a coach. So that is through all seasons, right? That is through husbands being gone and working late. That is through vacations. That is through sick kids. That is through anything. There is always somebody out there that will say yes. It's just a matter of, are you asking, are you talking to enough people? Okay. So you might have to work harder in these seasons. Like I had to work really hard this month to meet my goals. It wasn't as hard, in April, but this month it was tough. But I have those no matter what goals. I'm going to do it. And so I'm going to ask however many people I need to ask. I'm going to talk to however many people I need to talk to. Okay, so the first thing, I don't know if y'all know who this is. This is Simone Biles. She is a 2016 Olympic gymnast. She is awesome. My daughter is a gymnast, so we know about her. But I just wanted to use this little comparison or analogy because I think that this happens. That if you're a new coach on this call, or maybe you've only been here for a little bit, or maybe you've been here for a long time and you're still looking ahead at other people's businesses and you're thinking, man, she's this many star diamond, or gosh, she makes this much a month, or, I see her adding all these coaches, or how in the world does she keep getting, Success Club 20 or whatever. Sometimes we look at those people that have these businesses that we don't see the behind the scenes. We don't see that they've worked, that they've practiced, that they've invited 100 people or whatever. And we like to compare ourselves to them. And so what happens is, instead of, this is my daughter right here, and she's a level 2 gymnast. She'll compete level 2 and then move to level 3. And this is Simone Biles. So if my daughter, was watching the Olympics and watched Simone Biles and was like, man, you know what? Like, I can't jump like her. I can't be on the balance beam like her. Like, I can't go around the bars like her. Like, forget it. Like, I can't do it. Like, I'm out. I'm not even going to try anymore. If she did that, then obviously she is not cultivating her own potential and her own talent. And we talk about protecting our sprouts a lot, right? And so that's what we need to focus on, rather than having our focus on like, and I know, and I'm talking to myself, y'all, because I can totally do this when I think like, man, like, how is she signing this many coaches? And I've totally messaged Kristen before and be like, girl, like, I feel like you're posting about a new coach like every single day. What are you doing? And you know what she's doing? She's doing work. That's what she's doing. There is no secret that Kristen hasn't told us. There is no magic formula. Believe me, I have looked for it. Okay. That's not what it is. It is work. And so, like it says here, it says the daily simple tasks, those are going to compound, those are going to build, those are going to string together, and then they make significant events. You want to get to Diamond, you want to get to Star Diamond, you want to be elite, you want to get to Success Club All-Star. Well, that starts with what you do every single day. So we have to kind of put our blinders on, and you have to just like take care of yourself. Okay. Don't worry about what's going on around you. Protect your sprouts and focus on your coaching business and your coaches. Okay. First thing that you need to do, no matter what. Number 1, the daily insignificant tasks. These are things that you're going to do day in and day out. And you're not going to see, like I said, you might not see how they are affecting you today, but they are affecting your business. So the first thing is adding contacts. Like I said in the beginning, Kristen and I became friends because she friended me and she messaged me. All right. She didn't worry about like, oh, what will this girl think? Will she think I'm trying to sell her something? You know what? Fact is, I needed her to sell me something. So if Kristen had been like worried about that and not done that, I wouldn't get to be here. And that would be such a shame, because this has been such an amazing opportunity for me and for my family. So you have to you have to get out of your own way, and just friend some people. If they don't friend you back, who cares? You will never know. They will never know. End of story.
Stephanie, can I add to that real quick?
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, like, I get nervous sometimes, like when it's like a new person, like messaging Stephanie, she has no clue who I am. I'm like, what's she going to think? But at the same time, like, if I never speak up, the answer is always going to be no until you ask. Right. And I mean, I know this, maybe you guys, if you're a believer, awesome. And this is what I believe. Like, I really do, like when Stephanie said, it's a God thing. Like, I just feel like people are put in my life for a reason. And I don't know. I just felt that connection when I reached out to Stephanie, and we just started talking right away. But you guys I think we just have to put our fears aside, and it's an ego thing. Like, you're a fear of what somebody going to think of me. And we have to push that ego aside and just think, you know what? I don't care. Like, I know, like, my intention is good, and this can help somebody's life if I'm willing to put my fears aside and open my mouth. So, yeah. Anyway.
And I think that goes along with, moving on to the next one, which is inviting, like Kristen said too, like the answer is always going to be no if you never ask. And, what I see a lot of times with inviting, with coaches that I talk to and say, if people are like, oh, just nobody wants to do this, everybody's saying no. And I'll say, well, tell them, okay, how many people have you asked? Tell me, how many people have you invited? And let me tell you something. If you have a no matter what goal, sometimes, like I said, my no matter what goal, I'm going to hit Success Club 10 or above, no matter what. There have been times, y'all, that I've invited 60, 70, 80 people just to get 5 people to say yes to me. That is a lot of work and that is a lot of conversations, but I have that goal, right? So I'm going to keep working. So what I see a lot of times with inviting is that either one, it's July 20th and we're like, oh no, like I have 10 days left in the month. I better ask, some people or whatever. And then we're missing goals. Or we're inviting for the first couple days, or, we're inviting, maybe every once in a while. If you want to build a team, if you want to build an income, if you want to build a rank, if you want to affect people's lives, then you got to invite, right? You have to. And you can do this in two ways. You can do this personally and you can do this publicly, and you should be doing both. But when we're doing that, I remember those first couple invites, you guys. It's hard. I remember, your heart's kind of beating and you're like, pressing send or whatever. And now it's like I can do it in my sleep practically. And that's only because I've practiced it. I've practiced it over and over and over and over and over again. And now it's not so fearful anymore. It's not full of fear anymore. Of course, sometimes there's hesitation, but because our team preaches so much relationship, most of these people that I'm asking, all these people that I'm asking, I've built a comfortable, loving, caring relationship with, that when I just say, hey, girl, you know what? I was putting my list together for my upcoming group. I totally thought of you. Have you ever considered joining us? Like, it doesn't make me scared anymore. So we need to be inviting. You need to be inviting a lot. Okay. The next thing is sharing value. And we talk about this on our Facebook page, but this is where really you're building trust. We talk about thinking of Facebook almost like your friend, right? What are the things you want to share with your friend? What do you want to tell your friend? Of course, sometimes you don't have time to think of something heartfelt and whatever, and a mediocre post is probably better than no post at all. But just slapping a selfie up all the time with no content, people don't really know what to do with that. And Facebook is an interactive platform. So you want to make sure that you are creating interaction with people. You're asking a question, you're asking an opinion, you're giving a recipe, you're showing a DIY project you do. I mean, sharing value can come in all sorts of different forms, and you can make it, yourself. But make sure that you are giving. We have to build trust with people, you guys. We're asking them to trust us. We're saying, hey, I'm going to help you get to this goal. And I don't know about y'all, but like I deal with women that it's a very personal thing to come and say, I have 30 pounds to lose. I've had 3 kids and I have all this weight to lose and I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. You have to be willing to share yourself and add to other people so that you kind of build that bridge, so that you have people coming to you and saying, I need your help, right? So make sure that on your Facebook page, you are adding value in some way. And then the last thing for these daily insignificance is adding to the team. We can tell ourselves a lot of things, you guys. You can give yourself a lot of excuses, like nobody wants to join my team, or I don't have anyone to ask. But let me tell you, that is a limiting belief that you put on yourself. And I know it. I know that because I've done it to myself. There was a time this spring that I totally I don't know what my deal was. I just felt that way. I just thought that, like, gosh, I don't feel like anybody wants to do this, or I don't really have anybody to ask. But as soon as I just seriously just got out of my own way and like rid that excuse, I mean, now it's like everyone, I'm like, hey, you should do this. You should join this. Or, hey, you love Shakeology. Let's get you the discount, like, let's sign you up, get you on the team page. Let's, get you involved. Once you really, there's not really going to be a drought in adding coaches. There might be a slow period, I guess, but there's not really going to be a drought. And the reason I know that is because Beachbody, since I joined alone, has added like, I don't know, like 100,000 coaches in like a year and something, or 150,000 coaches. There are people out there that want to do this, you guys, that either want the discount or want to be an active coach. We just have to find them. Okay. So adding coaches. Okay. The second non-negotiable, the second, like, do this right now and you will push through your rut, is you need to focus on your fitness. If you want to boom in your business, have a transformation. I watch it, right? Because now my newsfeed is filled with coaches. But I watch girls having transformations and their business is like, whoop. I mean, I have Leslie on here. I had her picture. But I think of Leslie. I think she started off as a discount coach. She's just trying to get herself fit, but she decided to just post kind of as she went. Hey guys, keep me accountable. I'm doing this thing. And then she decided she was an active coach. And that girl was like, okay, here's my results. Who wants to do this with me? And first month actively coaching, she hits like SC 44. And that is not me exaggerating. That is actually what she got. So if you have a physical transformation to share, that gives you credibility. We can't say, hey, use these products. These products work, but not have anything to show for it. And it doesn't have to be, a long thing. You could do the 3-day refresh. Go buy the 3-day refresh right now. Commit to it. Do it 100%. Say that you're doing it publicly. Show your results in the end, and then ask people to do, who wants to do this, and get people, to join you that way. But if you need a little boost, if you need a little kickstart, I'm telling you, commit to a program, make it public, and follow through and post along the way, and your business will boom. In fact, Leslie is one of my push partners, and I was talking to her the other day, and I said, tell me some things to help my coaches. What can I say to my coaches to help them, get SC and grow their business and, get people interested? I was just feeling like they were feeling like, I don't know what to do. And she said, every time my coaches post their results, they get business. And I was like, okay. So on my team page that day, I posted a challenge for my coaches and said, okay, everybody go right now. I'm challenging you to post before and after and to share your story, and let's see what happens. And Sabrina, who's right here, it's unfair, you can only see her before, but I promise her after is really good. She posted her before and after, and the next day someone had joined our challenge group with a challenge pack, and she signed up a coach. It's powerful, you guys. It's really, really powerful to be able to say, this is what, and here's what we want to do, right? We don't want to sell. That's like everyone's biggest fear. I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell to my friends. This is how you don't sell, okay? You do it, and then you share it, and then you ask people to do it with you. And then you're not selling anything. You're just saying, hey, I did this. You should do it too, okay? So I completely suggest that you make a plan so that you do a program from start to finish. I love Beachbody On Demand, and sometimes it's so easy to be like, well, what do I feel like? Do I feel like doing max 30? Do I want to do 21-day fix? I think that's totally fine, but I really do feel that if you really wanted to make an impact and gain credibility, if you start and finish a complete program and post about it along the way, post your results, you're going to see a boom in your business. And then lastly with that, make sure that you're posting. People would much rather see pictures and videos of you than products. Stock photos or product shots. You don't want to, I was going to say it nicely, but don't do that. Don't post anything. No stock photos. No anything of that. People want to see you. This is a relationship. You're building a relationship. You're building an audience. So, be present. We need to see you. Okay. And then your number 3 is stick with itness and get creative. So I wanted to show you this, and this is not, this is just, it is what whatever you feel like it is. But this is my March 2015. This is when I started. This is my first month as a coach. Okay. Around this time, like I said, started having coaches die. Okay. They were like, and I don't mean they really died, but they like either started not working. Girls that were like gung-ho, like 100% SC10, adding coaches, they just started falling off. And then after they started falling off, then eventually they quit. Because if you think to yourself, oh, I'm just really overwhelmed, or this is just a slow season, I'm going to take a step back. Y'all, let me just be really honest, that is a slow death. Okay? Because if you decide that you're going to take a step back, it is so hard. It takes a very powerful mindset and a very humble attitude to come back from that. So it's so much easier to just do these daily activities, you guys, and stick with it than it is to feel like, oh, I'm just going to take a break and then come back. So from March 2015 to March 2016, and this is with a whole new team, and this is not even my best paycheck, and I only want to say that because in fact this is like a good $1,000 less than my best paycheck. But I only want to tell you that because the fact remains that this is not my best paycheck, and this is with starting over with a brand new team, and it was still a 309% increase from one year to the next. No other job you're going to do that. I was a teacher before this. I got like a, I don't know, 5% raise every year or something. Okay, no other job are you going to be able to be in control so much of your paycheck and possibly have that kind of increase, and to be able to say this isn't even, as good as it was. In fact, this is probably one of my lowest ones for this year. But if you have that stick with it attitude, because my why is bigger than coaches quitting, and my why and my family and my goals with this job and what it can provide as far as financial freedom and just time freedom for our family is bigger than having to start over. You kind of have to get in your mind, if you're there right now, if you're feeling like nobody wants to do this, coaches are quitting, everybody's saying no, you have to, and I say this to myself a lot, you have to just kind of get to this point where you're like, I'm just okay being the last man standing. Because what I see in this business is that it works if you stay. If you stay and you do the vitals and you stick it out, this will work. We have examples around us all over. We have examples in Kristen. We have examples in Summer. We have examples, in Dream Big. That if you are consistent and you work it out, this will work. Okay, so those little actions compound over time. And if you haven't read The Compound Effect, I totally suggest that you do. It's one of the first books that I read, and I love it. And I've said this analogy before, but I'm going to say it again. In there, he talks about this analogy of a well. And if you're thinking about like on a farm, like on land somewhere, like pumping a well. And he says, if you think about this business like a well, like you're pumping this well and you're pumping and you're pumping and you're having to like draw the water up, right? And the water's it takes forever. So you're like pumping really hard and nothing is coming out. And that's where your first set of people are going to quit, because they're going to be pumping and pumping and working, and rightfully so, because we do a lot of work, right? You're going to be working, and then all of a sudden, nothing's coming, and it's like, forget it, okay? And then there's another set of people where you're pumping this well, and then pretty soon, like, a little bit comes out, and that's when you get those, like, $15 paychecks, and you're like, what? Like, I did all this work, I talked to all these people, I had all these conversations, and $15. And that's where you're gonna get another set of people that are gonna quit, because they're gonna think this isn't worth it. But there is a group of people, y'all, and I hope it's you, it's definitely me, that if you keep pumping that well, that water is gonna come, and it is gonna come, and it's gonna be unstoppable, okay? And there are seasons of this. There are seasons of, we talk about there are seasons of plenty, there are seasons of nothing. Sometimes there are seasons of no reward. And you just have to say that to yourself. I have been there where I'm just like, I am in a season of no reward. But if I stop doing my daily activities, if I stop working on my fitness, if I stop, having a resiliency and a tenacity, I'm never going to get what's waiting for me. Okay. If you stop now, you will never get what is waiting for you. The only way is to stick with it. That's it. Okay. And then lastly, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have so many ideas and forms and templates and websites and files in Dream Big. You don't need to do that, but don't be afraid to get creative too. Okay. And so some minor tweaks can really make a big difference. I know for me, being a leader of a team now, I really want to help my team. And I know that we focus on Success Club a lot, and it is important. You cannot deny that if you hit Success Club repeatedly, consistently, that you are pushing your business forward. That is just a fact. Okay. But there are other ways that you can boost your volume. You can boost your commission. You can boost people that you are helping. And I only say that to say that I know that when I started, I couldn't see the big picture of that. And so sometimes I was like so Success Club focused that if
Did we lose her completely? Oh, no, there she is.
have done a product party, like when we did it when there was a Beachbody sale. We said, hey, there's this sale, and if you want to know more about it, we'll put you in this group. We put people in a group. We talked about all the products. And people bought things, and Beachbody will do this for Black Friday as well. They'll have a big sale for Black Friday, so something to think about in that time when people are spending money towards Christmas or buying things or whatever. We just to have kind of this group that they can get together in. 3-day refresh group is awesome. We've done this before. After Labor Day, my team will probably do it. People are kind of over summer. They're getting ready to get back into a schedule. It's a great way to kind of promote that, like, hey, let's get back on track, and start off with a 3-day refresh group. To work out or do your devotion or whatever it was. I've run a prayer group. I did a 30-day group of praying for your husbands. Whatever you want to do to add value, it's a great way to build relationships really naturally. You have people in this group, and they're, it's just a great way to have contact with people, because I think that that's the biggest thing, right? We need to build relationships. We need to find people to talk to get to know. Free groups. Performance line samples. We have a performance line, and I know that sometimes we really push Shakeology and programs, but for me personally, like, I have a lot of friends who do CrossFit. I know some personal trainers. Think about ways that you can meet other people's needs. Okay. So our performance line, and the samples are awesome. I did a post yesterday about Energize, and I got like four people ordered, just off of this one post, and they just ordered Energize or whatever, but it's still helping somebody. It's still boosting volume. It's still, it's still commission, it's still income based. And also for your team, this gives people, because sometimes I find with new coaches or not even new coaches, but coaches that are still working their way into the business, it's hard to talk to people, especially when it comes to the money part, and having a challenge pack where you're like, oh, it's $160. Sometimes there's hesitancy at first about talking to people with that. So if you help your coaches get some customers and get some challengers based on some of these, maybe less expensive things, it doesn't feel as hard, right? It doesn't feel as hard to say, oh yeah, you can get 10 samples of Energize for $18. Okay. And that gives a little like boost in confidence. And then you have somebody to follow up with and say, hey, how did you like that? We're running this group and I just totally thought about you if you would like to join this with us, clean eating group with Shakeology. So you can, order packets and then resell those packets out and then do a clean eating group. Last year around Christmas time, we did this, and I hope that we do it again, but we did a coach fitness accountability group. It was just coaches. It was a way to, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I think it was, we did the 3-day refresh, and then we did a coach accountability group so that we had results. And so that everybody else was eating, right? We're eating all that candy and we're, having all those family dinners where everybody else was doing that. We were getting results so that when the end of December came around and people were starting to be like, okay, I'm over this. I'm over stuffing myself. I'm over not fitting into my jeans. Who do I talk to about finding a solution to this? That we would pop into their heads, because this whole time, here we are, everybody's gaining the average like 12 pounds over Christmas, and we were losing weight. Okay. So hopefully we'll do something like that again. You kind of have to start thinking about, as we're coming up on like holidays, you're kind of like from now until January, really, or now until the end of December, you're kind of like a New Year's Eve, like incubator. All right. Because that season can be so fantastic for business, you guys, if you do the day-to-day stuff now. If you give up, if you're like, hey, I'll just wait until it happens, it won't. You have to be present in people's lives now. You have to be doing these things now so that when all of that season comes around, they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to go talk to, so-and-so. And then the last thing that our team has done is a challenge group sneak peek. So like a coaching sneak peek, we just, how when you're inviting people and then you're just like, hey, if you want to, I'd love to tell you more about a challenge group. Well, when they came back and said yes, instead of individually having that, we as a team put them all in a group. And then together we all kind of explained, we did videos, we explained what a challenge group was, we'd explained some of the, I think we did some of the products that were on sale that month. And then as people ordered, they would order and then they would say, yeah, I ordered my challenge pack, and people were getting excited and more people were ordering. And once again, if you run a team, if you have a team, this is a great way to help out your team, because you can really kind of spot people. As a veteran coach, I can spot people in these groups that I can reach out to my coach and say, hey, you need to talk to her. Like she's right, in some of our free groups, like, she could do this, she would want to be in a 30 group. You need to ask her. Okay. So, is Kristen even on here still? All right. I'm going to stop this share.
I'm here. It kicked me off a while ago. Can you see me?
Oh, there you are.
What happened? Like, I thought the whole thing had shut down, and then.
I know. I heard you. I could still hear you.
Weird.
But
okay.
It was weird.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyways, but guys, that's all I have. I hope you're encouraged. I hope you get some stick with itness, and that you realize that this really is a season and it's not just you. Okay. So don't think that, it's everybody. It's just really how hard are you going to work to hit your goals. And if you don't have a goal, then that's a problem too. You need a goal. You need to know what you're doing every month, right? We say like, what's that phrase? You like aim for, no, I don't know.
You gotta
something about like if you aim
I don't know, but you know,
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
but Stephanie,
Well, whatever it is.
one thing you said though, like, and she just sets a goal. Like, it's a no matter what, non-negotiable. I'm going to hit Success Club 10. I'm going to add this amount of coaches to my team every month. And she finds a way to make it happen. And I was reading in the book No Excuses today about goal setting. And one of the things they were saying is you have to write it down, you guys. Like, don't just say, I hope I could make this, you know, like actually like take the pen to the paper. There is a psychological thing that happens when you physically write down your goals, and you just go to work to start making it happen. And you start thinking about, well, what are the action items I need to do to hit Success Club 10 every month? Well, I need to talk to, I don't know, 15 people a day. Okay, that's what I'm going to do every single day because that's going to get me to my goal. It really is just about talking to more people and building more relationships very consistently. And it isn't like, it's not speed dating, you know, because I know, Christina, you were like, I know I have to form first, right? Like, and that's why doing that every single day is important, because who I reach out to today and start building a relationship with, it could be several months before they actually build up enough trust to join me in something. And I was reading this too. This goes along with what Stephanie was saying, that like the 80-20 rule. Okay. They say that 20% of salespeople basically earn 80% of the money. Okay. Why is that? Everybody, to get into that, the top 20%, or to be a 2%er, like Danny Johnson talks about, she says 98% of the population will be dead or dead broke by the time they're age 65. So how do you become a 2%er, right? We want to be the 2% people who are successful. And you just do what other successful people are doing, and you do it over and over again. And it's not always like the sexy thing to do. Like, it doesn't feel good every single morning. Like, you're like, okay, I do my power hour every single day. But you have to put on a smile and know what your vision is and what you're fighting for, and you do it anyway. I mean, successful people are going to do the things even when they don't feel like it. That's really all that's separating you from success and not success, right? And it's the law of reaping and sowing, okay? The law says whatever you put in, you get out. It also says that whatever you're reaping today is a result of what you have sown in the past. So if you're not happy with your current crop, it's up to you, starting today, to plant a new crop, to begin doing more of those things that lead to success, and stop engaging in those activities that lead to nowhere. So you just have to figure out, well, what do I need to sacrifice so that I can get the time in to make this work, and know that it's worth it. Okay. All right. I hope you guys I'm loving the book, No Excuses. That's what I was just reading from. Amazing book. So thank you, Stephanie. Great tips. Awesome job tonight, girl. Thank you all for being on. You guys rock. See you at Summit in a few days. Bye.